Do you want to make designer coasters for your Florida room or for your deck? Perfect for entertaining this season and just being outside. So we're going to use this. We're going to use this. We're going to use this. And we're going to decorate this beautiful basket. So if you want to make some beautiful designer coasters for your outdoor area, come on back and join me. Hello, my rays of sunshine, and how are you today? I am blessed. I am well. The sun is shining. It's 97 degrees outside, so I'm inside today. Got the ceiling fan on. Where are we at? We're at the craft table. So what does that mean? That means we're going to make something fun and exciting and useful. A decoration that's useful for this season. So, whether you have a Florida room, a deck, you're just looking for some nice, custom-made, tailor-made, designer-made coasters that you can design. That's what we're doing today. Now, I picked up some beautiful material. Look at the lemons. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. We're going to use just little wood crafting squares, and I did get some caulkboard because you're going to need that, because we don't want our coaster scratching up our tables. Mod Podge, you want dishwasher safe Mod Podge. And I picked up this beautiful little basket at Goodwill. Look at this. I paid $1.25 for it at Goodwill. So, I can get it open. You know how nails do with them. But look at that. Isn't that going to be beautiful? So, not only are we going to have a nice basket to put our coasters in, but we're going to decorate this basket. So, if that sounds like fun, stay tuned. And if you like the channel, go ahead and subscribe. But give me a like if you like this crazy country girl and some of the off-the-wall things she does. And give me a comment. Let me know what kind of crafts you do or how you like things done. And what materials you would choose for your coasters, sets, and what designs. So, without further ado, I am going to change the camera angle and we're going to get into it. We've changed the camera angle. I'm going to move our little basket over here for now. Now, this is just a little piece of fabric that I picked up at Walmart. They have all different colors and patterns. It's $1.19. Beautiful big piece. And look at those lemons. Don't that remind you of summertime? Nice ice cold lemonade, or if you're like me from the South, a nice ice cold glass of sun tea. So, we're going to take this material and we're going to use these just balsa wood. I did get the rounded edges because we want to make these a little fancier. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out squares big enough to overlap our balsa wood a little bit. So, let me get all that done, and let's see how many coasters we're going to make. And like I said, we want it to overlap a little bit, so it's no big deal if you don't cut them exactly straight or exactly perfect. It's okay. It's okay. Alright, so this is what we have. So, how many coasters should we make? How many coasters should we make? Let's see. With our bottom cork, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Do we want to make 10 coasters? No. I think we want to make 8 coasters. So, let me get 8 of these all cut out, and we'll be right back for the next step. We've got all 8 of our squares cut out. And if you cut them a little too big, don't worry, because we're going to finish them off. So don't worry about cutting straight edges. Now, we're going to get some Mod Podge. Now remember to use dishwasher safe Mod Podge. That's very important, because these are going to get water and sweat on them from the glasses or from the weather itself. So we want to make sure that I got Mod Podge all over my hand. Opening my Mod Podge, because I didn't have any dishwasher safe. I had to get some. But these are going to be out in the weather, and they're also going to have glasses that are going to sweat on them. So use dishwasher safe Mod Podge. Now, with dishwasher safe Mod Podge, you need to let it dry for 24 hours before you use it. And if you want it completely waterproof, where it's dishwasher safe, you want to allow it 24 days. So, I'm not going to stain this. We're not going to see the bottom, we're not going to see the top. We will see this dark border. But if you pull out my little Goodwill basket, I think that dark border here is going to look good. So, I'm not going to stain it. I voted not to. Alright, so we're just going to take our Mod Podge. Y'all know, when I use Mod Podge on napkins or on material, that I use a good stiff brush. And why do I use a good stiff brush? Because I want to make sure I get all the wrinkles and all the air bubbles out. So, I'm going to try to do this without getting it all over my hands. But y'all know me. I get into my work. Alright, so we've got a nice coat on it. Just lay your material down and press. And like I said, you see, it's hanging over my sides, but that's okay, because we're going to straighten those sides. So you just lay it on, press it on. Oh, we did really good. No air bubbles on this. And I'm just going to take the Mod Podge and I'm going to go over it. I'm just going to go right over it, because we want a good waterproof seal on these, because these are going to be coasters. And you know, especially in the summertime, you got a glass full of ice cubes, it's going to sweat. That glass is going to sweat. So, we don't want to put something out there that is going to disintegrate or ruin when it gets wet. I'm not worried about the edges. I am going over them just to make sure it sticks on the edges. But I'm not worried about the edges sticking off. So, we're going to get this covered really good with Mod Podge. Dishwasher safe Mod Podge. But don't put it on too thick, because even though the straw is clear, we don't want it to distort our design. So there we go. So, got this point. Now we need to do the other 7. But I'm not going to sit here and expect you to watch me do all 7 of these. So I'm going to get all 7 of these done, and then we'll be right back. We've got all 8 of these covered in Mod Podge. So you can use a heated dryer on these if you'd like, but I'm going to take advantage of it being 92 degrees outside today, and I'm going to set all of these out on my table on the deck. So let me get these outside so they can be drying in the sun, clean this stuff up, and then we will come back and talk about our little storage basket. Now, got everything cleaned up. I love this stainless steel table from Garvey. Yes, I got Mod Podge on it. Look how easy it cleaned up. Wonderful. Now, we've got those 8 coasters outside drying. So they got to dry completely before we can do anything else to them. But let's refurbish this little basket from Goodwill. And let's see what we can do to make this pretty. Now I'm going to fasten it here so it doesn't come open on us. Okay. Now I have cut 2 strips of my material. And we're going to make a band to go around the basket. So, first thing I want to do is turn this over. I've got my glue gun. Now, I thought about the easiest and best way to do this, and this is what I came up with. So, I'm just going to put a little bead of hot glue down. I'm putting it all the way down. You can go section by section, but I'm feeling confident. Now, I'm going to take that raw edge and I'm going to fold it up so we have a nice smooth edge. So all I did was glue it in, and now look, nice smooth edge. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just run a little bead all the way down it. And yes, this is just a cheap little old glue gun. I don't use glue pots, not for projects like this. And I don't use the cordless fancy dancy because you don't need it. You can get one of these, very inexpensive, and it'll do everything you want it to do. So don't think crafting is expensive. And like I said, this little basket, $1.25 at the thrift store. All right, so we've got us a band. Now I'm going to do the same thing to this one. And you say, why are you doing 2 bands? Well, when I measured my material, because remember, I just got a square of this. I didn't get a yard or to measure it out because it was cheaper just to get a little square of it. My square piece wasn't quite long enough to go all the way around my basket. So, we're going to have to use 2 pieces. We're going to have to use 2 pieces. And now you say, wait a minute, you cut the pieces the same size. Yes, I did. But are my folds exact? No, they're not exact. Just we have. So, in order to get an exact fold, because we want to match these up, we want to make sure that they are the same. So I'm just going to lay this on here. I'm just going to take my little glue gun and I'm going to run me a line. Run me a line right where I had it done. So now both of our pieces will be the same width. We're just going to fold them down. This is so easy to do. Yes, I could have got the sewing machine out. All right, well, my glue either got cold on me or I didn't put enough, so let's put a little bit more glue on here. We want it to hold up. There we go. Much better. Okay, so now we have 2 strips. And these strips are the same width. Perfect. Perfect. Now, we have our 2 strips. So now let's work on our basket. Now, I want to place the strip on the basket. So we have the same decor that's on our coaster. Now I need to be careful with this little button and put it right here. So let me just get my little glue gun, fold it back, and fold it over. Now, I gotta put a new stick in my glue gun. Alright, so now I'm gonna flip it over. Now I can fold it back all the way. And I'm just going to put a line of glue all the way down. Make sure we got it perfect under the button. Look at that. Isn't that going to look so cute? All right. So now, let's do the same thing. Put it on the side. You know what I was thinking? If you were going to a cookout or a pool party or something, this would make a great gift, hostess gift, wouldn't it? I mean, this would be such a cute hostess gift. Or a holiday gift, a birthday gift. You know, when people get things from you that are handmade, it just makes it so much more special. And with this project, you can customize your material. And that's what I liked. I could fix any material that I wanted. I think that pattern looks so good with that basket. This was a good Goodwill find. Now, I want to take this edge. I might need another glue stick. I just keep mine in a little bag. Y'all know I love my case. So let's keep that out. But I want to fold down this edge to give me a smooth edge. We don't want any rough edges. No, 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 no. No rough edges. Alright, so I'm just going to glue that down. I got a little string on the corner. We don't want that little string on the corner. I'm just going to cut that off. Now this decided it wanted to pop up a little bit on me. But that's okay. The miracles of a glue gun. Alright, so now we're going to take this and we're going to line it up. And I'm going to put it on top of this one. Remember, this one had the raw edge. So we're just going to put it on top. Just like that. Look, same length and everything. So, let's get our little glue gun. Get us a couple little strokes here. And let's line this up. Now, if you're really good, and not like me, you can line up the pattern. Look at that. Seamlessly. We did good. So now, we're just gonna run us a bead. Right across here. And that is the good thing about getting things from the thrift store. You can refurbish them, redecorate, make them to your need. So remember that. If you get something from the thrift store and you said, man, I like it, but I don't like that color, spray paint it. Paint it. All right, now for here, I'm just going to cut this a little here. But spray paint it. You don't have to keep it the same color. If it's not a color you want, don't not get it because of the color. Think about spray painting it and customizing it to make it your own. I've done that on a lot of projects. And going to the thrift store, you really need to use your imagination. You have to see things and think about what they could be and what you could make with them. That's the fun of refurbishing. I like to go on Pinterest and Pottery Barn. There we go. And look at things. And then I think, what can I do to make that? So now, we got a top. We can't leave that naked, can we? Nope, can't leave it naked. So, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to square off, sharpen our edges. Like I said, you could use a sewing machine for this. But did I really feel like pulling my sewing machine out for this? No, I didn't. So, glue gun works just as good. Glue gun works just as good. So there we go. Got that edge. So, let's do the same thing on this side. I can see I'm going to have to cut this because I cut more of a rectangle when I was cutting it. But the top is a square. Whoops. Whoops, I had a string. The top is a square. So, we can't have a rectangle on a square, can we? No. Okay. So we've got our edges here. Let's go ahead and do this edge. And then we'll measure it and see where we need to cut the other edge. Because like I said, I cut a rectangle. I didn't cut a square. But it's okay. It's okay. Anything with crafting, you can fix. Make it your own. You can do that. Alright. So now, this corner's a little wonky. I overlapped it just a little bit. In fact, I don't like that. I don't like that corner. So, I'm going to peel it back up. I'm going to peel it back up. And we're going to redo it. See, when I do crafting and I make mistakes, I don't edit them out because that's life. I don't edit them out. I let you see. Alright, now I'm much more happy with that corner. Much more happy. All right, now, let's get our little basket. Well, I guess we can't just round this edge and have that. Okay, well, I was wrong. And you know what? If you're wrong, it's okay to admit you're wrong. Remember, nobody was perfect except for Jesus Christ. He's the only perfect person in this world. So, if you mess up, don't sweat it. Fix it. And don't do it again. That's the secret. Fix it and don't do it again. It's all a part of confessing your sins and repenting. Is to fix what you were sinning and doing wrong and not do it again. And that works with life. That works with life. It's okay to mess up. It's okay. Just learn from your mistake and don't do it again. Can't get much more simpler than that, can we? And God's given us all the tools to live a righteous life. And Christ walked this earth as an example of how to live a righteous life. But don't sweat it. Make a mistake, don't dwell on it. Don't live in the flesh. Get over it. Think about what you can do different next time. And do it better next time. I messed up on corners. Okay. I'm not sweating it. No. I'm just going to take that corner apart and redo it. All right. So now, got a little corner here where I join the material that I don't like. That's not as tight as I want. There we go. So now we have a beautifully refurbished little basket that's going to hold our 8 coasters we're making. Isn't that pretty? That's going to look so nice on my table. I'm so glad I picked that lemon pattern. So we have this. We've got this complete. So let me go get our coasters that are probably dry right now, sitting in 92-degree temperature. And let's finish up our coasters so we can get this styled and displayed. We're back. Got all 8 of these. All good and dry. So, now, let's continue working on these. Now, what I'm going to do is see how they're overhung here. I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut. Because I put the Mod Podge on good and thick to the edge. So, I'm just going to cut them as straight as I possibly can. Remember, we use dishwasher safe Mod Podge, so it's going to hold up to the liquids. But we do have to wait 24 days before they can be submerged in water. Alright. And with the Mod Podge, sticking them to the edge and making them good and firm, easy. Now these have rounded corners, so I'm just going to go in and round my corners. That's it. Look how good that is. Look at that stuff. Now, we don't want to set this wood on our table. So I've got some self-adhesive cork. Now this is square edges. This is round edges. So we will have to trim it once we put it on. So this is just peel and stick cork board. So we're going to peel and stick. Alright. So the only thing we have to do is just round that edge. Round that edge. We could have made square coasters, but I like the rounded. So there we go. Nice cork, soft backing, won't scratch your table. Slides easy. So, let me get all the rest of these 7 done, and then we'll be back to put them in our box and see how we display and use them. Got all 8 of them done. Beautiful. Customized coasters, cork backing, to match any attire. So if you want to decorate your porch, or you want to decorate your Florida room, or if you want to decorate your pool, let's make them. Thrifted Goodwill basket, $1.25. 8 wonderful coasters. So, let me get these staged and show you how I plan on using them. Fun. I just love projects like that. Because like I said, you can pick any pattern, any material, whether you're giving as a gift, giving it for a holiday, wanting to match the cushions on your deck, whatever you want. I just chose lemons because I thought that was a good old summer drink and festive and just looked hot. It's 92 out here today, so I needed something that looked hot. And a good old ice cold glass of lemonade, that makes me think of hot weather. So, if you enjoyed that, please hit that subscribe button. Like that video. All that helps my channel grow so I can bring you more ideas, more hauls, more crafting. We're working on the dollhouse still. We're decorating it now though, boy. We're in the rooms now. But I can bring you more things that you enjoy. And leave me a comment. Let me know what kind of coasters you would have made. What your decor's like. Let me know if that fits into your patio or your deck. So, this is the part of the video that I really don't like, but I do like. I have my mixed feelings because our time has now come to an end for today. But, Lord willing, I'll see you at the next video. But until then, let's see what verse God wants to put on our hearts today. What verse we need to uplift us, to give us support and comfort. All right, Hebrews chapter 4, verse 16. Let us approach God's throne of grace with confidence so that we may receive mercy in our time of need. And that's right. When you're a child of God, a believer in Christ, and you are graced by God, you have mercy in your time of need. You have joy in your time of sorrow. Let us approach God's throne of grace with confidence. Know you are a child of God, so that we may receive mercy in our time of need. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 16. God is the ultimate. He is the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning, the end. He is everything. He gives us everything. And He wants to do everything for us. Do His will. Study His Word. Walk in obedience like Christ did. But until we meet again, I hope you stay blessed and seek the Holy Spirit. But until then, remember Genesis 31:49. The Lord watched between me and thee when we are absent from one another.